Isn't there only 7 words you can't say?
Yeah, I got the list right here.
Listen to the words.
You can't say fuck, motherfucker, shit, pussy, cunt, cock, prick, dick, cocksucker, whore, tits, balls, nuts, bitch, ass, asshole, cum,
Brick's illegal?
You can't say piss?
You can't say piss.
I can't do this, guys. The new album's called The Boston Project. I started recording it a while ago now, maybe like a year and change ago. I was recording it at the same time we were recording the La Coca Nostra Masters of the Dark Arts album. And basically I had the idea that I wanted to work with all, the cats that I came up with in Boston. With the OG dudes like Edo G, no pun intended, and like Antonio Insaldi, Twice Thou. And then maybe to put some of the younger cats on and give them a little shine. It's difficult coming up in this city and breaking into hip-hop, breaking into the game, and having a successful career is really difficult in general, no matter who you are or where you are, but it's especially difficult in Boston. So, I just wanted to take whatever little light I had on me and, put it on some other people too. Also pay homage to people I came up with and pay homage to the people that came before me, I mean, it is a Slaine album. It's still a Slaine album. It's just it's a collaboration album. It's not a compilation. I'm on every song, and it's me collaborating with all these people in Boston that I want to work with. So, I thought it's different. I've done a ton of collabs with people for their stuff, anyways. It's not just that, but I wanted to really like executive produce and oversee an entire album. Because I really take pride in my ability to make albums. Even my mixtapes were like albums, you know what I mean? So I wanted to really oversee something that I could, get the best out of everybody. I feel like I'm really in tune with the scene, and I know maybe even better than some of the artists on this record what they're good at and what people want to hear them do. So I think I really accomplished that. I think when people hear this record, you're going to hear every artist on this record sounding as good as they've ever sounded, I think.
Awesome. What were the sessions like? Was it like versus email, or were you guys all really there?
No, we went in. There was no beat sent before. There was no beat when we came to the studio. Lou Balls, who produced 13 out of 17 tracks, essentially the whole record Lou produced. And he's a genius, and I don't throw that word around lightly. I've worked with a lot of talented musicians. There's very few people that I would call a genius, and Lou is a genius. And just to sit in the studio with him and start from scratch with making beats, and coming up with the whole concepts to all the joints with everybody who's on the record. We built everything from scratch right there. You hear the intro for the record right there in the background. Evolution of the Kid. But that's how we did it. So everything was built from scratch, and everybody involved in every song was in the studio, present from beginning to end, staggering out of the studio 4 or 5 in the morning. That's why it's a Slaine record, because that's how I work. You want to work on this, you got to work how I work.
Obviously, with this, you're taking your clout and putting the spotlight on some people who might not have seen it yet. Can you think of any stories where you were coming up with someone did that for you?
I mean, we could cut right to the big one. His Ben Affleck, what he did with the movie stuff. So, what he did for me was he changed my life. And then, we could stop before that and look at Edo G. Edo G did that with me. He brought me in to work with DJ Premier on special teams. And, Ill Bill did it from not a Boston guy, but nonetheless was one of my biggest mentors in this game. Everlast, DJ Lethal, everybody that's worked with me, is like family to me. And I want to do the same thing. I'm not the first person to ever do that, man. That's like what you're supposed to fucking do. You know what I mean? Because how the fuck else are people supposed to get on? Now, you lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink, you know what I mean? But I could do my best to, I'm not going to stop managing everybody on the fucking record or signing everyone to record deals, because that's not what I do anyways. It's not what I'm interested in. What I am interested in is making music. So I've made music with all these people. Whatever light they get off that, cool. I'm not any huge mainstream pop rapper or anything like that. I just do what I do, and I just wanted to make this record with these people. If that's doing something for them, great. And if it's just us making music, great. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
what's something you think could change about the Boston scene to make it a better jump-off point for artists?
I mean, you know, it's gonna take a long time, man. It has taken a long time. We've come a long way, but I think people need to support their own artists, and I do think Boston supports its own. It's not that. I just think that there's a lot of venues that we can't rock in because they don't want aggressive hip hop music. They don't want street music. They don't want street people. That, you know, there's like a, you know, whether it's a racism or it's, you know, blackballing people, because culture, it's a culture thing too. It's not just race, but there is racism there, but it's also a culture thing. They don't want certain kinds of white people there neither. They don't want, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's an institutional change is the most difficult kind of change to make, and that's the kind that it's going to take in Boston to really change things. And I mean by the radio station supporting too. Even to this day, the radio stations in Boston don't support me. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone on for interviews on some of them, and they give me minor support. But like, when is the last time you've seen a Boston artist get and play in the middle of the day in regular rotation in Boston? There's markets in Canada where I get that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it in my home city. So I mean, that's another tough one right there. But I can't tackle all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my own career to run, my own son to feed, a busy life, and it's you know, I just trying to do what I can do, just do my little part, you know, clean my side of the street.
We're already seeing reports online of the Boston Project too. Is there any truth to that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I had to shoot these. Ended up shooting 2 movies when I was trying to finish this project up. I got a horror movie that I did in Canada, and then I did a independent movie with Harvey Keitel called God Only Knows. And it just made my schedule too busy to finish this album, like to get everybody. I really wanted to get Acrobatic on the record. I felt like to put this record out without Acrobatic, I'm still disappointed that he's not on it. You know what I mean? And, you know, I reached out to him in the middle of it once or twice, and we just couldn't connect for the studio session, and then it came up against a gun, so I'm bummed out that he's not on it. I want Mr. Liff on it. I really want to. There's a lot of people missing on this, and there's other young kids that I didn't get to work with it too. You know, like Malfi and Maystar. I know those dudes are both making noise, and I've reached out to both of them too. It just became a timing thing, and then I had to pass it in with the label. So I still have like 7 or 8 joints that I recorded for this record, like one with M. Dot that just wasn't finished enough to put on this record. And another one with Steez. There's a bunch of records that I still have that I want to put on Volume 2. So, and then Volume 2 too, I was thinking of branching out and, you know, hollering it. I hollered at Donnie Wahlberg, but it was a little late in the game, you know. And Michael Bivins, Bobby Brown. I'd love to get those dudes on Volume 2 and kind of, you know, still keep it hardcore hip hop. But, you know, those dudes did a lot of great work for this community too. That you know, I would love to have them be a part of it. I got another solo album called The King of Everything Else that I'm passing in probably in like 6 weeks if I can make it happen, you know? Yeah. Just trying to grind away and finish it. So we'll see what happens. I'm doing a collab album with a cat named Mad Child from Swollen Members, who's a dope MC. We're about 7 joints deep on that. We got crazy production on that. Like an all-star lineup of legendary producers working with us on that album too. So it's going to be crazy. And, you know, I'm sure we'll do another Coca album in the works. I got a couple movies I'm looking at right now. We'll figure out what happens. With the movie stuff, you never know, like, because I'm pushing to get my own projects made and to help other people get there or, you know, be attached to other projects. But you never know when there's going to be another major one that you get to, you know what I mean? So, you know, that I always leave the door open on that one. I'll bet you off with everything else if I get a call from a movie that's super official like The Town or whatever, you know. Yo, this is Slaine, Boston's own, representing for anyhiphop.com. Peace.